right, guys, welcome to a very special edition of Abnormality. I'm your host, Big Tony. As always, my buddy Kent, riding shotgun. And tonight we have some very special guests, our friends from Oregon Paranormal. So I'm going to let you guys just kind of introduce yourselves. Tell me whatever you want.
Go for it.
Or maybe I should have you guys introduce each other because that might be more fun. See what
Are you
come
ready,
up with.
Casey? I'm going to introduce you.
Oh, let's do it.
This
This
makes
is
me really
Casey.
uncomfortable.
Casey's a Scorpio.
God.
He
He likes long walks on the beach.
Right.
one
Yeah.
of the founders of Oregon Paranormal.
Okay.
And you know what? You better take this over from here because I.
Because you're doing a terrible
yeah.
job.
I can't
Director,
do this.
co-founder of Oregon Paranormal.
Okay.
You go.
Me?
You're up
Yeah.
Am I
next.
Go for it.
introducing myself?
Do it.
Hi, my name is Katie Montana Jordan. I'm the occult specialist and client relations consultant and social media executive for Oregon Paranormal.
See, I always flub all of that.
How do you fit that on a business card? That's a lot of things
right?
you got going
Yeah.
on.
I know.
So basically,
big card.
if you weren't here, they'd have a really hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
For the most part.
For the most part.
At least for the first day.
Yeah.
We'd get over it really quick. And you are.
And I am Jay Verberg, Director of Historical Research for Oregon Paranormal.
And you're already famous, so everybody probably is already looking at you like, I know
You guys
that.
are more famous than I am.
Yeah,
you guys have got these lights and stuff, and
Yeah.
this is crazy. I don't even know what to do. I'm a
Well,
little
they have electricity. You didn't have electricity
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. Yeah. You
So
guys are
we're
fancy.
we just had blasting caps. We didn't have flashlights like this. So
Blasting
I don't-
caps. So you just lit them off and talk real quick when you
Well,
had light?
No, there was a reason, but there was a pattern and a reason for everything we did with blowing up things. So.
Yeah. Okay.
There's always a method to the madness.
Yeah.
Usually.
So why don't you guys give us a little bit of history about Oregon Paranormal, how you guys came to be, and how long you've been doing this?
I started Oregon Paranormal in 2009. It was pretty much a curiosity that I had from a kid. I started researching back in '93, and it wasn't until I moved up here that I met the other co-founder, Scott Riedel.
Okay.
And at some point, we got to investigate a location, and it kind of blew up after that into something that is way bigger than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
It's been pretty crazy, actually.
Okay.
Then OP actually just turned 7 on the 1st of this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Pretty huge.
We have a hard time not being together for more than about 5 minutes without arguing, so I can only imagine 7 years.
OP's pretty much earned its big boy undies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
and
still plastic, but
Yeah, but
we still have those
still,
accidents
but
every
we're
once in a
moving
while.
up in material, so
Yeah,
we're
they
getting
don't
good.
tape on anymore. You still pull them up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's how you got it. How did you connect with the guy,
Oh,
the man,
that's-
the myth?
That's a messy story. So,
Those are the best kind, though.
yeah, I know that's true. So
Public access. We can say anything we want. It's so good.
watch what you say there because I will say anything. Just ask the Oregon Ghost Conference. No, I got involved because I actually took a job as a greenhorn miner. Ended up on a television show called Ghost Mine on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
I was just mining. I wasn't investigating. But when I was a kid, I was always fascinated with paranormal. And it was probably since Poltergeist that I went, oh my gosh, you know, I could do this for a living, look for ghosts and do all these things. And then I went, this looks really hard because there's science and, I almost said bad word right there. There's science and other various educational classes that need to be taken to understand what is going on.
Cussing would have been way more effective, I think,
I know. I'm looking out for your fans, though.
Well, thank
That's-
you.
That's what's important.
for our G-rated
So,
crowd.
it really wasn't until after the show that I realized, oh my gosh, there's freaks all over the world who still participate in doing these things that have paying jobs and loving families. They don't need to be weird, secluded little dark beings in a dark room doing
Yeah.
scary things.
It's changed a
so-
lot.
Yeah.
A little more socially acceptable, and we're not looked at as weirdos or anything.
And the reason I got hooked up with Oregon Paranormal is because my very first private investigation, I was invited by you, Casey, probably because you just wanted to hang out with me.
Oh yeah, big time.
It was
Yeah.
the hat, I think.
And it was just such an amazing investigation. It was a transition from just an open, random investigation in a big, wide open space where you didn't have to worry about anything but having a clear path to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Here we had a responsibility to clients that I wasn't prepared for.
Okay.
And so that always kind of stuck with me. But I like OP's methods. I like the way they investigate. I like the, just the reason they try and put behind a lot of the methodology of using the equipment to gather evidence, and that stuck with me.
Okay. All right. And the most important member of the crew, how did you come into all of
That'd
this?
be me.
Well, that big job title, I mean, that sounds really important. I don't know.
Thank you. We met at the
2013 Coast Conference. No. Actually, it was before that. It was when we put on the Haunted Sumter event, actually, the first one.
Was that the first time I met you?
Yeah.
Well, it,
Yeah.
it
That
must
was-
have been a great day.
I know, right?
Instant recall, you
Like,
remembered
what's
it.
your name
So.
again? You look familiar.
Yeah, it was September of 2013.
That's right. That's
Wow.
right. Yeah.
Even the date.
Because I came
That's
with
impressive.
Steel
Ben
trap.
and Asha. That's
Seriously?
right.
I have a hard time with yesterday.
Yeah.
So you guys met and
We met and we had a fabulous weekend investigating the Sumter B&B in Sumter, Oregon, where Ghost Mine was filmed. And we just all got along really well and became good friends. And I was invited to come to the Oregon Ghost Conference. I was new to Oregon. I had just moved here from Montana. And I had been doing a lot of work in the paranormal and the psychic field in Montana, but things were done differently there. So
a cult in Montana to me seems like there might be a little bit of a squeaky wheel, little. kind of
yes,
thing.
exactly. So that's why being here in Oregon and living in Portland and being a part of Oregon Paranormal, I've been
'Cause
able
we're way
to
more normal.
flourish a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, I was asked to come to that Oregon Ghost Conference and
Originally, it was just a sub at our table because
just to sit there. Yeah.
it was one of the first years where we were doing so many different things
just
at
needed
the
a body.
conference. We needed somebody to.
just to sit
Which
there
is funny
and
because
answer
isn't that the
questions
same
for
conference
patrons.
I met you for the very first time?
We met in 2012, actually, at the one when.
Oh, yeah, I
when,
remember
when
now.
you guys
Right.
were still big time, and you
Yeah.
showed up. It was you, Patrick, and Jamal showed up with your.
Oh, yeah.
And you
I
and
totally
Motorcycle
Dylan were like little tiny
helmets.
Yeah.
babies.
You
Yeah.
don't remember that at all,
You guys
John.
were such babies, yeah. But yeah, anyways, the Ghost
who's
Conference
been
went really
drinking?
well, and we just started talking about me joining OP, and it wasn't even a, like, I didn't come to you, you didn't come to me, it just sort of happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and how many more members are there that aren't here?
The other co-founder, Scott Riedel, who has a real job. He's actually teaching in China right now for another year. And then there's Scott, who's our historical coordinator.
A real
Tristan.
job?
Tristan.
Tristan, who's our
A
historical
real job, and he goes
coordinator.
to China.
Yeah.
Right,
Wow, that's
right.
a big job.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with just
That's
the
not a
5-minute
daily
commute
commute
to work.
thing. It's
Seriously,
actually living over there.
living over
so-
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the 5 of you then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked a lot about that with a lot of other people that we've interviewed. This is our first in-studio interview. We've called people from all over the United States that we've had interviews with.
And we're the only group that's willing to do it.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous.
It was
about
just
so-
that- it was that
Wait, you know
connection.
what? Let's.
You guys
I don't wanna do
validate
this
parking,
anymore.
right?
This,
We'll call you when we get outside. When we're on our way back, don't drink. Don't drive and talk on the phone though.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't handle that pressure if you get a ticket.
Okay.
So you guys keep it small. A lot of people talk about that they like to keep it small and that they have an easier time when they do investigations and things like that. Do you find that to be pretty accurate?
It's a lot better as far as doing the investigations. It's a lot easier to wrangle 5 people than it is to wrangle 20 or 30
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that the way we all work together as a small unit is a lot more cohesive than with a bigger unit.
Yeah, we're more efficient. I was
Well-
going to say, I think because we're just all so close, we're also really good friends and we hang out together all the time. So we trust each other and we work really
Even
well
this guy?
together. Even that guy.
Really?
So we work really well together on
People
a
trust
professional
me.
level.
Nice job. You do have that face. I don't
pay
know if
a
it's
lot
the
of money,
hat. It
too.
just kind of mellows you out and makes you seem friendly. I don't know what
I
it
have
is.
dues. They know if I wander, there goes what my
Right.
monthly due.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
Which,
The
by the
celebrity
way,
of the bunch.
but it's fascinating because I do think smaller groups tend to work better. You don't have to keep track of as many people. Your communication equipment is emitting less frequencies throughout the building as you're trying to stay in touch wherever you might be. But at the same time, we just have a solid group of people, which not every group is fortunate to have. We all respect each other. We all listen to each other's ideas. You also have the problem when you get a large group, you have too many ideas coming in.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to conduct experiments and investigations in a house where you've only got 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And too many schedules
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
conflicting all the time. It's impossible to best meet the needs of our clients when we're having to call a whole bunch of other people to coordinate what works best. So we've learned over the years that keeping it small and tight works best for OP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys get a lot of phone calls for like personal residents? Because
Phone
some of
calls,
the groups
emails.
Actually,
Facebook.
more than I anticipated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter. I mean, you name it, they come from every corner.
So is that the bulk of kind of what you guys do is kind of like the residential type?
We'll pretty much do everything. I don't do outdoor stuff. I don't like doing cemeteries. I don't think there's really a need for it. But for the most part, at least in the 7 years that we've been doing this, our main focus is residentials.
Okay.
But we have done quite a few historical locations. And
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys are you busy every week then, or
No. When we first started, it was, bang, 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 bang. We were going to get as many investigations as we could, mainly because we wanted to get a lot of practice working with setting up the equipment and training with our new members and stuff. But over the years, when we changed our focus, because originally when we started it was just ghost hunting. That was it. Go in, try and collect evidence, and then go home. But then there was that light bulb that went off, I think, after maybe the first year, where it was like, these people need help. We're their last resort. And usually when somebody calls us, I mean, they're at their wit's end. And it was one of those things where we had to really kind of step back and figure out, okay, what are we doing here? Because we can't just go into somebody's home and say, yeah, this is the voice we caught, blah, 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 have a nice day. We needed to, start figuring out a process of research and help them through this, because as you guys know, you become kind of a counselor to these people almost 24 hours a day in some cases. So typically a case for us can last about 5 to 6 months. So we'll do maybe 4 cases a year, possibly.
Okay.
But we try not to stack cases because we want to make sure that the clients that we have are getting 100% of our attention.
Okay.
And it's worked pretty good for us so far. And the fact that we're doing a case that spans that time gives us plenty of time to do, the background research. I mean, we have requirements that we ask of the client. And, it's one of those things where it's like, before we even take the case, we want at least a month or 2 months worth of data logging from the client themselves. Because they're the ones that are in the house the whole time,
Yeah,
so
like
we want to make
patterns
sure
and stuff like that. So you kind of know when to go in.
If things are happening at 4 in the afternoon every day, then why are we investigating at 9 o'clock at night?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
Just the more information to narrow it down.
right, and Jay also stated it when we were talking about it at the Ghost Conference that the 2-month thing with the log, it's not a hard coded thing. Clearly, if there's an emergency, that's something that we'll definitely jump on.
Sure.
But we want to have as big of a picture from the client of those time windows, and then. On top of that, we're doing topography stuff, and we're looking into old tax documents and going down to the Salem archives and going through death records and stuff and trying to find those needles in a haystack. So by the time we actually get to an investigation, we've done so much background research that it helps us put those puzzle pieces together. It also affords us the opportunity to, like for instance, we've got a case right now that we've been working on for about 4 months, and we've already gone through the first research process. We've done the first investigation. We've gone over the hundreds of hours worth of data that we've already collected. Now, this month, at the end of the month, we're actually going in for another investigation. We're going to test out some new experiments and hopefully come out with a little bit more answers, because right now we're still scratching our heads. She's still experiencing things, but as you know, when you go into a location, it's it's like working with children. They're not gonna be there on command and stuff. So
and that one, it really depends on the investigation itself. Everything is kind of tailor made to the specific client. So and in this particular case, they live right next door to an Alzheimer patient, housing, elderly living.
And they went to the wrong house?
Well,
I wonder if that still happens even after they've passed.
if there's any clarity after death, I don't know.
and now that I think about it, we've got William here, so we can't give away too many more details about this location,
even
because
think
we're
of that.
actually bringing in William to do a
need to
walkthrough
leave.
because the clients have.
He's used to being kicked out of the building. We can do that.
He's just a creeper sitting in the back shadows there. There he goes. He can listen anyway.
know. So,
But,
roundabout, we don't go and investigate every weekend, if that's what you were asking,
Yeah.
but we're certainly busy every weekend, as
Yeah.
Casey
And I think
explained.
that's the biggest thing that we've tried to drive home with the viewers is that people don't realize, we try to do as much hunting as we can, but then when we started the show, the amount of time that it takes to
Yeah.
put something like this on,
Totally.
is
And that's just
incredible.
it. We all
and
have our
hours. And you're
events.
talking months and hours of research and things
Yes,
like that.
Yeah.
Right
on top
now-
of conferences and
Yeah.
events, and then Casey has Oregon Paranormal Radio, and then
Yeah.
we work with Paranormal Research and Investigations with Michael White out of Washington, and
Yeah.
we're always conducting experiments with him. So yeah, we're busy every weekend.
Yeah, and all full-time jobs.
Totally.
yeah, I was going to say, imagine if we applied this effort to our jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy crap.
Like this
I
particular
just came
case.
to a realization of something here.
This because when we were preparing for the ghost conference, I wanted to kind of catalog what actually goes into what it is we do.
Yeah.
And when we were pulling all the data off of all the equipment, uploading it to the server and everything, it was that realization. It's like, wow, there's 50 gigs of information just
Yeah.
from this one case
Yeah.
that we still have to go through, and then
And we all go
potentially
through it.
have to do another
Yeah.
50 gigs worth of information after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Because a lot of groups divide up DVR or audio or whatnot to different members, but what works best for OP is that we all go through everything, all of
Yeah.
it. So that way, if I miss something, maybe Casey picks it up and so forth.
Yeah. Well, that's what I came to that realization when Kent and I were doing some filming. We ran out of memory card, and I didn't realize how much
Yeah.
memory
yeah.
things take and how much you have to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still give him a hard time about it because we had a great episode, and he lost it.
You lost it.
But we still love him because we didn't. We had a memory card in there. We had done one take and we hated it. We're like, this sucks. So we completely changed how we were going to do it.
Yeah.
Of course, not scripted, but we changed it completely and we nailed it. And we only got about 14 minutes of it.
Yeah,
or
we got
something?
14 out of 45.
Of course.
Perfect.
Yeah, but those were the best 14 minutes of that damn show ever.
Yeah, we we hit delete. We kind of moved on.
Oh, okay.
So, and it wasn't like it was here in the studio. We actually drove like an hour and
Yeah, we were over in Lincoln City. I was
Yeah.
at a hotel for my birthday weekend, and him and Chris came.
we went over there because he was out of town. He wasn't even here. So we drove all the way over there. We filmed it. It was terrible. We redid it, and
Why do I feel like this is a real thorn?
it kind of is a little bit.
I know.
It is a little
I can
bit.
tell.
When they said, "Where do you guys want to sit?" I'm like, he needs to go down there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, just that whole idea of hours and hours of research, and I mean, I wish I had the time. I'd be amazed to know what you guys all do. Is that too personal?
No, it's not personal at all.
What do you do for a living?
Oh, God. I am a web developer for an ad agency in town in Portland here,
And ghost hunter.
and a ghost hunter.
Wow.
And I've also recently started volunteering with a nonprofit organization and disaster relief.
Wow.
So I'm kind of,
So what do you do with your free time? Wow. You
what time
do
is
you
it
even
now?
sleep?
I'm sitting here talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what day
I,
it is.
in my free time, it's a weird conglomeration of
Yeah.
mixing the three things that I'm doing right now into one world that it's tough.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm trying to plan a Machu Picchu trip. I want to hike the Incan Trail to Machu Picchu.
That'd be awesome.
But then I talked to Scott, and he said, "Come to China." I was like, "Well, yeah."
The wall's the same if if you're going to the wall.
He's not even near the damn wall. So I'm
'cause
like, "Why
I
am
was
I
gonna say,
going
if
to
you're hiking
China?"
the wall, it's like the same every 50 feet.
Yeah,
Nothing
That's
changes.
and,
That's
and no
boring.
disrespect to any of your viewers or anything, but we've got Panda Express. Why do I need to go to China?
Wow.
See, you just lost a viewer somewhere.
Well, they're gone.
I'm really sorry.
That's right.
It's out of love.
When they're
I love
gone,
Panda
we'll
Express.
get you back. It's okay. And so what do you do?
I work for Dark Horse Comics in downtown Milwaukee. So
Oh, okay.
I have it's a publishing company, so I got a nerd job.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you get to be with comic books all day.
Yeah, I get to
There's
work
nothing wrong
with, like Hellboy and Usagi Yojimbo and Sin City and all that stuff. And
Outstanding.
yeah, it's a fun job.
Very cool. Well, I'd love to love what I do, but I don't. I hate my job.
What do you? Wait. What do you do?
I'm a juvenile corrections officer.
That is okay. We just changed the direction of this show right
She
here.
hasn't even gotten her chance
I
yet.
know.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry.
You can get me in just a minute.
Okay,
Let's
'cause, yeah, I
to
wanna
the
get you
interesting
guys.
one. No,
Thank you. The pretty one.
the pretty one, yes.
Thank you.
See, Kate, you're not the pretty one anymore. Sorry.
I'm gonna sit here and drink my coffee.
atop of being a paranormal researcher, I'm also a freelance writer.
Okay.
So I've got my personal blogs, and then I work with a couple different editors, somebody here in Salem and then in Portland, and I'm also a contributing writer to Paranormal Underground, and I have some poetry out there, and I'm also working on 2 books right now.
Wow. So
That's where I'm very fortunate. I'm a writer first and foremost. I love
Yeah.
to write, and then I'm a paranormal researcher, and I can't get enough of it. So I am very fortunate that I'm able to combine the 2 things that I love into one.
Yeah, and be able to a little bit of flexibility and schedule around it. That's awesome. All right, so I changed the subject. What did you want to?
You're a juvenile corrections officer.
Yeah,
You must scare the crap out of those kids.
not the kids these days.
Yeah, I know.
And
that's
I've been doing
true.
this for a lot of years, and things have changed.
Would you rather be working juvenile, or would you rather be working the adult system?
Oh no, at least with juveniles, I stand a chance. So
I
I've always
feel like you're opening yourself up for so many more potential lawsuits coming through there. You're dealing with minors, damn it.
and I touch their lives in that I can help them and make them, because adults, they're kind of
That's
set.
true.
You know, and
That's
I've been
true.
before this. I was running group homes when I retired from ball, and so I've always had to work with kids because I think that's our chance to make a difference. But unfortunately, it's a losing battle these days. It seems like.
No, you never know when you're going to get. I
Yeah.
almost said you never know when you're going to touch a child. That's really bad if you're.
Let's reword
working
that.
with juveniles. Yeah.
Can we rewind like 3
yeah.
minutes?
Yeah, let's roll that one back.
My
No,
cell phone's blowing up over there. I can just
And the
see it
show has
going.
reached a new low.
We just got on after midnight. The 5:30 slot, we lost it.
That's funny
But
because your wife
one of
warned
the
me
truly
about that.
fascinating things to why, so being the director of historical research, I'm researching what oftentimes people see as the boring aspect of things. But it's amazing how, with the paranormal, it draws the young minds in, and they're learning history without realizing it,
Yeah.
and they're learning things, and all of a sudden something is sparked. How I made it through high school, I don't know, barely passing
Yeah.
every one of my classes, but I can flat out tell you math and history, and now it's one of my passions.
Yeah.
So, and to watch kids get excited about the possibilities.
And I've got a house full of kids at home that are just, they kind of like do the electronics thing. But since we've started doing this and I've gotten more involved, it's like you said, they're getting more
Yeah.
involved and learning about things, and they're fascinated by it.
Yeah, and I'm,
So-
I'm always saying, once you're dead, you're history.
Yeah.
So you tie the 2 together, and
Yeah.
and kids are just kind of drawn to the
Yeah.
possibilities.
There's a lot of, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great kids out there, but I mean, when I started 15 to
Where?
17 years ago, the population that, the percentage of kids that we actually made a difference in was a lot bigger, and it's kind of going down, and it's frustrating.
I could see
So,
that.
And it's, I still do it every day.
They probably said that about us in the 80s, though.
Yeah.
In the
That's 'cause
80s, ghost hunters were weird.
Yeah.
I got
We're
baby
still-
cheeks, but I think I'm probably up there in the age with you guys too. Kent's the baby. Well, and you, ma'am, you are very much younger than us, I'm sure.
Could recover.
Look at it, he's just ignoring me. know.
And so, what is it you do in your?
He harasses me that I'm gonna be 45 in a couple months. So
Oh yeah, you're even older than me.
I know.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's all
We
right.
I just let that fly. Damn it.
one shit is fine,
Okay. Wait, that's,
That's
two.
2.
Yeah. Good job.
but one for you, one for me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you outdo me. I gotta meet you. We're gonna mark it.
Mine was with context. Yours was just repeating, so it's kind of lame. You should get your own.
I should.
Yeah.
You get your own vocabulary.
We'll
Tony.
worry
I
about it
should.
later.
Well, he's been on TV. He's cool. I want to be just like him. I was
do not
just
wanna
thinking
be
to
just
myself,
like
if
me.
they make that hat in a size 8.
So, well, what is it you do then?
I am a sales manager for Rent-A-Center.
Okay.
Can you say the name on air?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't even know the
I couldn't
rules.
say it when we were down doing what we were doing, but now I
Oh,
can.
see, that's where I'm confused. Athletic scholarship. Sometimes I forget things. So,
But no, I actually, while I was at GhostCon, my manager called me and he's like, "Congratulations, you've been promoted." I was like, "Okay." He's
That's
like, "I'll
awesome.
see you Monday."
he went from couches to TV, so there's a little bit bigger
Yeah.
markup. So he makes a
more
little more
work, same pay.
No,
Exactly.
I got pay raise too.
You got a pay raise. More hours, pay raise. I know.
But the one thing I wanted to kind of touch on, and don't worry about the timer because we're going to go over, and I'm going to make this into 2 episodes, whether you guys like it or not. As a producer, I can do that.
Yeah. I talk. He does what he wants.
I kind of wanted, before you guys got here, me and Tony were talking about kind of explaining to the people out there what it actually takes to research. I don't, because the facade that I see that they see on TV is your TV shows, they show up, they do their hunt, they go home.
Yeah.
And I want them to understand that it's not Hollywood, glamour, lights, all that. It's sucky, boring work.
It's a lot of work. In fact, I think I referred to it at the Oregon Ghost Conference as fishing while doing your taxes,
While watching paint dry.
while
Yeah.
watching paint dry.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of
You just
paperwork.
offended the paint guy.
I know.
He's in the other studio right now.
But
He's
the
angry.
accountants are like, yes, it's tax season next week. Everyone's going to come to us now. And it's not this way with every group, but for Oregon Paranormal, it's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of sitting and waiting and hoping.
lot of paperwork.
It's a lot of research. It's a lot of, we don't like to use the word debunking because we're not out to debunk. We're out to basically study phenomena which is difficult to explain. Sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. That doesn't mean we're debunking. It means we're testing theories and ideas. And every time that happens, or every time an oddity happens, you have to test it again with a new approach. And you never get that opportunity again. So you often have to wait for another opportunity.
Yeah.